We have been tracking rounds of showers and thunderstorms out there through the afternoon, and they will continue as we get deeper into the evening hours. I'll have the latest for you.
We're tracking down new details about a deadly shooting inside a church, plus how people in Lexington are honoring the 9 victims.
We will hear how family and friends are remembering a man found stabbed to death in his home.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
We've had more showers and storms popping up around the area this afternoon.
And some of them are severe, leading to warnings and a thunderstorm watch. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is tracking it all on the First Alert Defender. Jim?
And it has been a very active day, guys, with warnings and now a severe thunderstorm watch that goes into effect for the folks across northern sections of Kentucky. It includes a few of our counties, but it's mainly to our north and into Ohio. Defender is active still at this moment. There you see those showers and thunderstorms that have been moving through the area. First batch that came through is this northern area that we're watching there that's moving now into Ohio and West Virginia. A couple of pockets of some decent thunderstorms. Down to our south is another that's going to possibly bring us some potential as we progress into the rest of the evening here. This storm that's now cruising through Prestonsburg was a severe thunderstorm a little while ago, just a few minutes ago. It expired at 5 o'clock, and now it's down to just a general strong thunderstorm sweeping through that area out of Magoffin. But there's another one coming right through Salyersville right now, and more heavy rain and lightning associated with it, as it will also take a very similar path to the other thunderstorm. We blow it all up here and take a widespread look. Here's the next area of concern, I think, for central Kentucky. If it can just hold on and really interact with some of the juice in the atmosphere that's out in front of it, it'll hold on and likely blow in here with some pretty strong thunderstorms. Maybe not like what we had a little bit earlier, but certainly a decent little round. We will track it in here hour by hour coming up in just a few minutes.
We're tracking a breaking news alert this afternoon out of Scott County.
We're told a minivan ran off of I-75 near Sadieville, went over an embankment and hit a tree. 6 people went to the hospital. 4 of them, we're told, are children. Some of the injuries are reportedly critical. State police and the Scott County Sheriff's Office are at the scene investigating.
We continue to follow a traffic alert here in Lexington. Southbound I-75 is closed in Lexington near exit 111 because of an overturned car and camper. Police say there's debris on the road. Traffic is backed up for miles because of this. We'll continue to update you on the situation at mile marker 111 as we get more details. It's a horrifying attack in a place many of us associate with peace.
A 21-year-old white man is in jail accused of opening fire during a prayer meeting at a historic black church. Last night's shooting killed 9 people in Charleston, South Carolina. The suspect was caught this morning in Shelby, North Carolina. Marley Hall is tracking the investigation in our top story at 5.
The manhunt for 21-year-old Dylan Roth ended in Shelby, North Carolina this morning when police pulled over his dark-colored sedan. Roth is accused of killing 9 people during a prayer service inside a historic black church in Charleston, South Carolina. A tip led police to the traffic stop and arrest.
He was cooperative with the officer who stopped him. We don't have any reason to believe there was anybody else involved.
Police say surveillance images show Roth entering the Emmanuel AME church last night. He apparently sat in on a prayer meeting for about an hour, then opened fire. Among the dead, South Carolina state senator and the church's pastor, Clementa Pinckney.
And give you peace, and give you peace.
Today, Governor Nikki Haley joined the congregation for a prayer vigil.
And so we have some grieving too. And we've got some pain we have to go through.
The Emmanuel Church is one of the oldest historically black churches in the country, with deep roots in the civil rights movement. President Obama says he knew Pastor Pinckney and expressed anger that he died in a type of mass violence not seen in other advanced countries.
Once again, innocent people were killed in part because someone who wanted to inflict harm had no trouble getting their hands on a gun.
The FBI is investigating the shooting as a hate crime. Marley Hall, CBS News, Charleston, South Carolina.
And so far, police are not revealing any possible motive. This deadly shooting spree has really shaken people across the country.
Lexington is one of many cities where prayer vigils will take place tonight for the victims. St. Paul AME Church on North Upper will host one in about 2 hours. WKYT's Monique Blair is live with more on the remembrance. Monique?
Those 9 victims and their families are being remembered all across Lexington today. A very emotional prayer vigil was held at the Quinn Chapel AME Church earlier this afternoon. Now, local pastors, along with Kentucky State Senator Reginald Thomas, spoke today during the prayer vigil, saying this cycle of hate has to be broken and urging those in attendance not to return hate for hate. One of the victims of last night's shooting was pastor of the church and state senator Clementa Pinckney. Today, pastor of Quinn Chapel, Kenneth Golfin, said he was an acquaintance of Pinckney. He described the man as always having a calming presence and someone who always wanted everyone to have a spirit of unity.
He's the type of a fella that didn't meet strangers or didn't meet anyone that he could harbor hatred. He had concern for issues and situations. The recent shooting in North Charleston was something that greatly concerned him, but not to the level of starting to have racial animosity or anything like that.
Now, starting in about 2 hours, there will be another community prayer vigil here at the historic St. Paul AME Church for the Charleston victims, their families, and the survivors. I'm reporting live in Lexington. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Anyone is welcome to attend that prayer vigil that is set to begin at 7 tonight.
We're tracking the investigation into a man's murder. Police found 54-year-old Henry Mead stabbed to death inside a home on Wyoming Road in Bath County last night. And today we're hearing from those who knew Mead. WKYT's Sam Smith shows us how he's being remembered.
I talked with friends and family of Henry Mead today. They say he did not deserve what happened to him inside his home. He worked for Swartz Mowing and helped out on Swartz Farm. Kentucky State Police investigators were called to Mead's home around 7 o'clock last night when Mike Swartz, his landlord and employer, found Mead's body inside. Mead didn't show up for work yesterday, and Swartz wanted to check on him.
It was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Mead lived here by himself. The 54-year-old is described as an honest, reliable man. Officials say Mead was stabbed multiple times. They say whomever did it was likely an acquaintance of Mead because there was no sign of forced entry.
And you know, most of the cases we get, especially here in rural eastern Kentucky, are acquaintances of our victims, and it appears that this is the same case.
Everyone I talked with that knew Mead hopes there's justice in this case. In Bath County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
And so far, no arrests have been made.
Police say a man tricked a disabled woman out of more than $10,000. Glenn Stamper is charged with exploitation and theft in the case out of Lexington. He's accused of taking the money in exchange for work he never did on the victim's home. WKYT's Victor Puente has more on the investigation.
Glenn Stamper has faced charges similar to these in the past. He was on probation when police say he took more than $10,000 from a woman for work he never did. That victim told me she didn't want to be identified and asked that we not show her house. She told me Stamper came to her home on Della Drive and told her he saw some problems with her roof that needed to be fixed. She says he then supposedly found electrical problems beneath the house and asked for more money. She says she gave him at least $12,000 for services he never completed. She says her children were the ones who called police and reported the crime. Stamper was charged with knowingly exploiting a vulnerable adult and theft by failure to make required disposition. In 2011, he was charged with knowingly abusing an adult. That charge was pled down to theft of identity and another theft charge. He was on probation for that case when these new charges occurred. His bond was set at $20,000 full cash because the judge said he was a danger to the community. With these new charges, he may have to serve a 3-year sentence and was probated in 2011. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Stamper was arraigned earlier today. We asked him for an interview, but he did not want to talk. A crime alert this afternoon on the University of Kentucky campus. UK police issued a bulletin following a string of car thefts on or near campus. There have been 3 reports of stolen cars between June 6th and the 12th. One was stolen from the Good Samaritan parking garage, one from an employee lot on Jersey Street, and the third from the intersection of Scott and Upper Streets.
A sad update today in the search for a missing man. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Owsley County. Officials say they found the body of Conley Baker Jr. this morning about a mile from his home. He'd been missing since last week. Officials do not suspect foul play in his death. A guilty plea in a Pulaski County murder case has been reversed. William Wesley was charged in the death of Ricky Odle. Police say Wesley hit Odle with a liquor bottle during a fight last August. He died the next day. Wesley had pled guilty to manslaughter second degree, but this morning the judge said the plea was being withdrawn. Wesley will be back in court next month. Parents with unpaid child support were the target of a roundup today in Knox County. The sheriff's office has had 10 warrants and made 7 arrests. It was the first child support roundup since the new sheriff took over in January, but he says it will not be the last.
We have 177 backlog of these warrants, and I feel it's an issue here. And we just want to put a focused effort today to apprehend these individuals that need to provide support for their children.
Knox County has been ordered to collect nearly $2.5 million in child support this year. Right now, they're about $70,000 short of that.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Here's a look at the most viewed stories on our website right now. People want to know more about the school districts approved for non-traditional learning during bad weather, the victim of a Leslie County crash, and a deadly crash in Richmond. You can find these stories and more on WKYT.com.
Brian Williams is officially out as anchor of NBC's Nightly News. NBC making that announcement this afternoon. The network suspended Williams in February for falsely claiming he'd been in a helicopter hit by enemy fire during the Iraq War. Williams will remain with the network, anchoring breaking news reports on MSNBC. Lester Holt, who has been filling in for Williams on Nightly News, will take over the job full-time. A 16-year-old injured in a shark attack is out of the hospital. Hunter Treschel was released this morning. Treschel lost an arm in the attack off North Carolina's coast earlier this week. A 12-year-old girl was also attacked and lost an arm. She's in good condition at North Carolina Children's Hospital.
Oklahoma is dealing with another round of flash flooding thanks to Tropical Storm Bill. The remnants have dumped several inches of rain on the state. A massive hillside blocked part of Interstate 35 while floods nearly washed away a camp bus. The storm is now headed to Arkansas, where people are bracing for problems.
There's going to be some adverse impacts from the tropical storm. To what effect those impacts are, we just don't know yet.
The storm also dumped several inches of rain on Louisiana. A water main break caused a road to collapse in Louisville. A 60-inch pipe busted around 3 this morning, flooding the road. The concrete buckled, creating a hole large enough to trap an SUV. The driver got out safely. Louisville Water is not sure what caused the pipe to break. Officials say it was installed in the late 1980s, which is relatively new considering some of the city's water pipes date back to 1860.
Pope Francis is weighing in on climate change. In an open letter to Catholics, the Pope declared climate change a tragedy. He says blind worship of technology and reliance on fossil fuels is to blame. The Pope says he believes the earth can still be saved and called on all people to take action.
It's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Balancing home and work life is often hectic for parents. How can you best manage the stress? Martha Shade tells us how to fend off parenting burnout.
If you're a parent, you've probably had moments like these. It's all part of the job. But juggling work and family responsibilities can leave some parents feeling stressed out and exhausted. Here are some tips from the American Academy of Pediatrics and other experts on how to avoid parenting burnout. When you're at work, try to fit in a few relaxation breaks, times when you ramp down the stress. Deep breathing is helpful, or going for a walk. And when you're heading home, find ways to improve your mindset and energy level so that you can better engage with the family when you get home, even if it means taking a few minutes for yourself. And you don't have to be super mom or super dad. Instead of cooking every night, allow yourself to get takeout every now and again if it makes things easier. Also, have the family help out with household chores. Don't take on too many responsibilities during the week. Let some things slide until the weekend. And speaking of weekends, remember to take time for yourself and your spouse on those days. These hectic times won't last forever. Soon your child will be on to the next phase. For today's Health Minute, I'm Martha Shade.
Fitbit is headed to Wall Street. The popular wearable fitness device company made its debut on the New York Stock Exchange today. The company's ticker symbol is, appropriately, FIT. Investors appear confident Fitbit will do well on Wall Street, so much so the company raised its initial public offering from $17 to $19 a share. The company could be worth almost $4 billion. If owning your own Airship is on your wish list, you'd better start saving. Your chance to buy one is coming soon. Lockheed Martin has created a hybrid airship called the LMH-1. It has room for a 2-person crew, 19 passengers, and 20 tons of supplies. The airship is designed to land on any surface, including water, but storing it may be difficult, given the helium airship is the size of a football field. The list price is still being discussed, but orders are now open.